Hey all, welcome back to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. My name is Kurt. Let me start off by saying I am so sorry. I screwed up the day of our April live stream. I spoke on our last video that it was going to be this Saturday the 30th. That's not right. It's going to be Friday. Friday the 29th at 7 p.m. will be our April live stream show. I screwed it up because in my mind I was thinking of our Patreon live stream, which is always on a Saturday. We have a monthly Patreon live stream as well. If you want to get involved in that, you can check out our Patreon page. It'll be in the description about any video that you look at. Trenton's got some really neat stuff going on there. And once a month we have a live stream just with our Patreons. It's very intimate setting and a lot of fun. A lot of information on both ends. So in my head I was thinking the live stream is on a Saturday, so again I apologize, we'll get past that, but please mark it down. Friday the 29th, 7 p.m. will be our live stream. We'll be blind tasting barrel proof whiskeys with my brother. Woo! It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good time. All right, as you can see here on the bar top tonight, I've got a couple of different single malt whiskeys. So what I'd like to do, a little while ago we put out a video on how to drink bourbon. And I thought it was extremely educational, I hope on your part, but it was for me especially from all your comments. Had a lot of good suggestions out here, a lot of good topics that we spoke about. So I really wanted to follow suit with a how to drink Scotch. I really did. But I have to be honest with you, I struggled just a little bit because above all, I want our content and I want our information to be helpful and honest and truthful. And I've only been drinking Scotch probably, 3 years maybe. So I felt that my inexperience might hinder us during this conversation. So an old boy left a comment and I just loved it. His name on the comment was It's Chad 1954. So I'm going to assume it's a him, and I'm going to assume that his name is Chad. But his comment propelled me into my thought process of how we're going to get this show done. This man has 50 years of single malt Scotch whiskey experience. I'm going to go, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go with somebody who has that much experience when it comes to a whiskey. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to read his comments directly, and we're going to follow his instructions, and we're going to see if we can learn something about drinking single malt Scotch whiskey. Before we get started with that though, I put this Glenmorangie on the table, or on the bar top, just as a suggestion. I worked at a factory for a while there for about 10 and a half years as a shift supervisor. My coworker at the time was big into single malt whiskey. I had zero experience, and I was big into bourbon, rye, and so forth. And we were talking. I said, I wouldn't mind trying it. But I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. And he was extremely helpful. And he said, Kurt, I tell you what, get yourself a bottle of this Glenmorangie 10-year. It's a fantastic Highland single malt Scotch. It's not obtrusive whatsoever. It's an excellent Highland single malt. And that was my first sip of single malt whiskey right here. This bottle right here. And I cannot recommend it more. For those of you out there, and I know you're there because I have conversations with you in the comments, where do I start with single malt? I'm a bourbon drinker, I'm a rye drinker. Where do I start? I would recommend highly starting with this Glenmorangie 10-year. It's only cost you about $35. You're not much money out. It's only $35. It's got a beautiful mouthfeel to it. It has some lovely honey tones and a little bit of orange in there too. It's a great place to start. We're going to put that to the side and get into the meat and potatoes of what we want to discuss during the show. How to drink Scotch. All right, I need my reading specs. Sorry about that, but I took a screenshot of this gentleman's comment. It just really spoke to me and I loved it, and I hope it helps you too. It's Chad 1954. My dear friend, I really appreciate your angle on single malt whiskey. I'm from London and have been a whiskey drinker for over 50 years. As I type this message, I am necking whiskey. Single malt whiskey is a complex drink. Firstly, pour a good single malt into a good, with all capital letters, good glass. We'll stop right there for a moment. For our conversation today, I am using Bunnahabhain 12-year. I can't think of another whiskey that would be a better whiskey to display during the show than this Bunnahabhain 12-year. It's fantastic. So he says to pour a good single malt whiskey into a, all capital letters, good glass. So today we're using an SLB Glencairn glass. Whatever you do, if you have a Glencairn, they're fantastic. There's other whiskey glasses out there. If you have that, that's fine. What you want to do is you want to get a glass that's a little bit bulbous on the bottom, but funnels right to the nose. That's what's most important. If you're interested in an SLB Glencairn, you can check that out at your convenience at slbdrinks.com. But whatever you do, get a good glass. Very, very important. All right, let's get back into the comment. That was his first point. Then he explains, nose it, spin it around, and then slowly nose it again, taking mental notes of the aromas emanating from the glass. Now this has been sitting for just a little while, so we'll spin it just a bit. Beautiful, beautiful nose. But that Bunnahabhain 12 is something else. Bit nutty, it's some fudge. Rich. That's the best way I could describe it. The nose rich. Wonderful. We're going to take a little sip. Fantastic. That nuttiness and fudginess comes through on the palate with some butterscotch. Nice and viscous. A little bit of bite on the proof. There is a tiny bit of peat that you can pick up on the back end. Very low peat level in here, but just a tiny bit. Really, really nice. Back to Chad's instructions in his comment. Once you've taken a sip, add clear, pure water, huge letters, all capitals, just a dash, a little less than a capful. Okay. Right over here, I've got about a half of a capful of spring water. We're going to put that right in. Then he goes on and explains, well, might as well read it, right, Trenton? We're on it, we might as well do it. Once we've added the capful, then nose it again and see the oil separate, and it will give you a completely different experience on the next sip. So we're gonna give that a quick spin. Make sure that that water that we added is nicely incorporated into the whiskey. Nose it. Similar nosing. Maybe just a bit more mellow though. No bite at all on that nose. A little bit more mellow because we added that water. Here's what I'm really interested to see. Honestly, I've never added water to this Bunnahabhain 12. When I'm enjoying a pour, let's see what we have. The maltiness in that. You still get, in my opinion, once I've added the water, I still get those beautiful tasting notes that we already talked about, but after I added the water, I'm also picking up a really beautiful malty tone there. Nice roundness. It kind of mellowed the whole thing out, and it gave it a really nice undertone of this beautiful malty note too. And he's right. He's absolutely right. Once that little bit of water was added to this glass, it gives you a whole nother experience. Now, I won't pick up my glasses again. There's one more comment that he has here, and it's all capital letters, and it says, never add ice to single malt whiskey. Now, in saying that, me personally, I usually never do. I usually enjoy it neat, but not with water. I think with today's test, I'm going to start checking out a few more single malts and add a little bit of water and see what we have there. But I always enjoy my single malts neat. This gentleman, Chad, says don't ever add ice. And those are his instructions on how to drink Scotch. Now let me finish up by saying I will always defend anybody who wants to drink their whiskey how they want to drink it. If you like ice with your single malt, then God bless it. You pour your single malt over ice. You are the consumer. You bought the bottle. You enjoy it as you see fit. But I really hope with this video today, with Chad's help, once again, Chad, thanks, man. You know what? I thought that was wonderful. I really did. 50 years of drinking experience. It helped me get through this video. Hopefully it might help you. If you're a new Scotch drinker, check it out. Let me know what you think. As always, I want to know your comments on what you feel is added information on how to drink Scotch. Because I also want to learn, and so do other people that it's in our community. That's all I got for you today. I really hope you enjoyed it. I did. I really did. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. I can't say that any more than I do because it's 100% true. We appreciate each and every one of you. We ask you to please drink responsibly at all times. And we'll see you next time right down here with me in a good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.